Hey everyone, it's Smita. Today we're going to be doing a full-on testing new NYX products video, including a wear test. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I really like to review new NYX products. I think they constantly come out with high-quality products at a fairly affordable price point. As you know, some of the prices for NYX products have gradually crept up over time, but with that, I do feel like in general, the quality has as well. I've got 4 products. I was not able to get multiple shades because they're getting a little bit pricier. I have the foundation. This is a soft matte foundation. It's called Make 'em Wonder. I was able to test it out on my neck last night, and I think this is actually going to be a perfect match for me, which is awesome because I got it online and I had no idea. And then I have their powder that came out recently, their brand new highlighter, and their lip liner. And this is the kind of felt tip one that's supposed to last quite a long time. And I have heard very positive reviews about that, but I have not tried any of these products. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This foundation is 1 fluid ounce, and so that's the standard size. I will have prices up on the screen because I don't have them off the top of my head, but that is a standard size. I really like that this is a small bottle, easy to travel with, and it has like a top that, okay, I don't love that. Why is the top of this leaking a little bit? But yeah, I like the idea of this top, which is that it has a fine tip, which seems like it would allow for, you know, controlled dispensing of product, similar to the product from Urban Decay. But we are going to overlook that and go into applying it. What I am going to do is just apply a little bit with my fingertip on both sides of the face, and then I'm going to use a foundation brush to blend it in. But as you can see, like, that is a really, really good match. So I'm definitely excited about that because I was expecting that this was not going to be a perfect match. I also found, like, you know, I found the descriptions to be pretty helpful, but I gotta say, you have to ignore kind of what category it says that you're going to be in, because typically I'm medium deep, and I want to say like I was not even medium deep. So I don't know if that just means that their range is more comprehensive than is usual or typical, but typically in almost all brands, my skin tone is considered to be medium deep, which is interesting. So I'm just gonna basically use this brush to blend it into my skin. I haven't done too many wear tests, to be honest, but I've been really wanting to do that. I have a difficult time in general with finding good foundation matches, and you know, I'm not on the hunt to find a ton of foundations. That I'm fine with having a small handful, although I do want to be able to test more and share more that work with me, especially ones that are more affordable, because I feel like a lot of the foundations that are sort of working best for me right now are higher end. And not only is it, you know, hard to constantly buy replacements of those, but I would just like to be able to have a few more foundations that are under that $20 price range. So I can tell you right off the bat, just with one layer of this foundation, that this is definitely a very full coverage foundation. So, you know, this I'm hoping could be kind of like my House Labs in a way, but maybe, I mean, it seems like it's a better shade match because the House Labs honestly does pull a little bit yellow on me. Now I'm gonna go in with my concealer just in the under eye area. I actually don't have a concealer from NYX right now, but I want to get one. So if you have any recommendations for NYX concealers that you really like, definitely let me know. This is the one from Maxine's Revenge that I talked about recently in one of my videos last week, and I actually did get my perfect shade, which was one deeper than that video. This is medium deep sand, in case you're curious. This definitely works really well for a variety of skin types, including mature skin. It's supposed to be just very forgiving on that under eye area. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it set for a minute, or just kind of dry down for a minute before I blend it. All right, now that I've had a chance to let the concealer dry a bit, I'm going to go in with this smaller concealer brush. This is from Anisa Beauty. I really like the shapes of their brushes. I feel like they really help to get into some of the lines, or like just the small kind of folds in the face. Natural folds in the face. Yeah, that is definitely a much better concealer shade match for me. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put on the powder. Like I said before, I got the peach shade. I'm just gonna put a little bit into this lid here, and I'm just gonna use it in the under eye area. I like this packaging in general. I feel like having a closure on the top so that it doesn't have too much excess leaking is nice. And I also feel like traveling with this powder, even though it's a loose powder, would also not be bad either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get a little bit of powder on my brush, and then just put a little bit in the under eye. All right, now that my foundation, concealer, and powder is done, I just want to be able to give you a look at how my skin is looking. So I know that this is just first impression, first application, but I am very, very happy with how flawless my skin is looking. I don't go for this full coverage every single day, but wow, like this is a very full coverage foundation, but it doesn't look cakey. And just really love the combination of that powder in the under eye and the Maxine's Revenge concealer. And I'm just going to give you a little bit closer up look. For my blush, I'm going to go in with a blush I know never fails me, and that is the KJH Soft Smudge Lip and Cheek, and this is the shade Soft Raisin, which is sort of like reddish terracotta, because I don't want to do anything really new other than the products that I'm testing from NYX. I do think that NYX has a lot of beautiful blushes as well, but this is the blush I want to use. So here is basically one layer. I'm going to go ahead and put a second layer. All right, here is my blush fully applied. Now we are going to go in with this new highlighter stick. And I love a cream highlight, so I am excited about that. I really, really hope that this doesn't disturb my makeup underneath, but I've seen people swipe this on, so that's what we're going to do. I have the peach shade. I'm just gonna apply it the narrow way, like this, on the top of the cheekbones, and I'm just going to blend it in with my finger. That is really pretty. It doesn't seem like it's too sparkly, like there is a little bit of sparkle, but I love a glowy highlight. And I also think that it goes really well with that KJH blush, because that had more of a soft matte finish as well. Here is what it looks like fully applied. This is what the highlight is looking like fully applied. We're gonna go ahead and go in with this lip liner now. I don't think I have to do anything special with it, like shake it or anything else. This is one of the Cool Tone lip liners, so it's the shade Wild Side. It's a felt tip applicator. It's supposed to be very long wearing, so let's go ahead and put that to the test as well. All right, I was a little bit nervous about the lip liner, but I'm happy to say that I was able to apply it, and I still had a little bit of time to smudge it out with my finger because I like to have a slightly kind of more blurred edge. I don't like to have too kind of sharp of a lip line. So here is what that is looking like fully applied. I'm gonna go in with this gloss from the Beetlejuice collection last year. It is a really kind of cool gray tone. It looks like it's a black and white gloss mixed together. It comes to a kind of cool taupey gray shade. Has a hint of purple in it as well. I wish this shade was permanent. It's so cool. Always the coolest stuff with the limited edition. All right, here is the finished makeup look. I am really happy with how everything looks, but of course, the true test is going to be the wear test. So I'm gonna make at least a 7-hour wear test happen here. And the other thing is I haven't looked at the claims on these products at all because I didn't want to feel biased going into it. But when I come back, we are going to talk about the claims of the products and see how the makeup lasted. All right, I am back. I've had this makeup on for 8 hours without any touch-ups. The only thing that I reapplied, of course, is the lip gloss. I've lived a lot of life. Since the last time that I saw you, I had meals, I spent time with family, I watched little horses, I lifted weights, and you know, honestly, I am very happy with how everything is looking. Obviously, this is just a first impressions. Let's talk about what's happened. My T-zone has gotten oily as it normally does over the course of this duration of time. I don't think it's anything crazy. In fact, I think it's probably a little bit better than some other foundations that I've worn. I did set in the under eye and I did use a setting spray. I used the Tear. I'm not sure why I use this because this is a new product to me. Anyway, I did use this setting spray. I don't think it's supposed to be a mattifying setting spray. It's just like a normal setting spray. Besides being dewy, I just think that my skin still looks really nice, and just so you can get another kind of close-up look. So in terms of the claims of this foundation, it claims to be a soft matte finish, which I would agree with. I became dewier as I wore the product. It claims to be lightweight. I also do agree with that. I did not do a 24-hour wear test, and I will never do a 24-hour wear test, but it claims to be able to be up to 24 hours of wear, and it has skincare ingredients. So I think that's the overall claims of the product. I agree that it's lightweight and that it's long wearing and that it's a matte finish because you know, I feel like it did look matte when I applied it, and in general, my skin looks actually less dewy than some other foundations that I use. I'm not totally sure how the highlighter wore. I do feel like I'm still seeing highlighter, but it's very much melted into my skin, which isn't a bad thing. It didn't make my makeup wear in any kind of weird way. So I think so far that's a win. I still see the blush, the KJH blush, of course. And then the other NYX product, of course, is the lip liner. And I've had a meal, I've had hot beverages, and it still looks really nice. So honestly, I feel like this wear test was pretty phenomenal. I am not very familiar with NYX foundation products, so if you have any other foundations that you recommend to me, definitely let me know. And in case you have a skin tone that is near mine, this is the shade 24 Golden, in case you're curious. Okay, so final thoughts on the products. First of all, I think this was a really successful try on. Obviously, it's just a first impression, so I really do need to continue to use the products to see where they stack up with other NYX products in my collection. But honestly, I feel like I am probably gonna end up with some favorites here, even compared to other products that I've tried from the line. I'm very intrigued about this foundation. I am very keen to keep using it. And I thought this lip liner was beautiful. I loved that it's no fuss. I didn't have to think about it. It stayed on, it didn't move. So I definitely want to try this in other shades as well. And, you know, even though I feel like it was around $10 or so, I think that's totally worth it. I would like to have this in a couple of other shades. So those are the things I'm probably most excited about. I really like the highlighter, but I'll have to, you know, play around with that one a little bit more. And I also had the chance to use this Maxine's Revenge concealer in a wear test, and I'm really excited to play around with this more, especially now that I have my perfect shade. Now that I've had a chance to go through everything, I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Were you curious about this foundation, the powder, the highlighter, the lip liner? Definitely let me know. And as always, I really hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.